Alright, today we're going to be unboxing the Palmetto State Armory PX9. So like most other PSA rifles or smaller platform pistols, ships in a cardboard box that is foam lined. Over here is going to be your accessory bag. First up is going to be a PSA branded lock. You also get your manual. This manual is of the older model, but not much has changed as far as function and how to clean it and everything. Black and white, very detailed photos, and there is no parts breakdown in the back side, but they do sell parts on their website for this particular model. Also in the box is going to be a sealed Magpul PMag 27. This is a 27 round magazine for pretty much any Glock platform. Let me get everything out of the way and we'll start going over the features of the PSA PX9. All right, got everything out of the way. As always, we will start off with some close-up shots. I will start the video off by stating that this is a blemished model, but I, for one, have a trouble finding the blems on any of PSA items, or really a lot of companies that sell blems at a reduced cost to the consumer. I always have a hard time finding any particular blemishes on them. They do state that some of the blemishes may be underneath the actual finish, so you may not actually even see the blemish itself. Okay, so we will start up front with the barrel. The barrel here is going to be a 16-inch barrel, and it is constructed of 4150V chrome moly steel, and it has a nitride finish. You can see that shininess through the handguard there. Up front, you are going to get an A2 birdcage style flash hider, and the muzzle end is threaded 1/2x28, and the rifling twist rate is 1 in 10-inch right hand twist. Next up is the handguard. So they don't talk about the particular metal they're using, but it is an aluminum handguard, and it features M-lock both on the left bottom right hand side as well as the middle section on the top. You're going to have Picatinny in the rear and Picatinny up front there, and it does have a type 3 hard coat anodized finish. As far as QD attachment points, there is going to be 4 of them, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, so you can see in the back here, and then another one in the front, and another one in the front, and another one in the back there. It looks as though there is one here, but it isn't machined on the inside. I think this is more or less for the clamping of the handguard to the barrel nut. And speaking of how this attaches, so it is a clamp style design, and it is going to be 3 cross bolts right here. And then there's also a screw as well as some plates on the side of the upper and handguard that are just going to keep everything in place and aligned. Moving on back to the upper receiver. If you couldn't tell, there is no forward assist, so this is kind of a slick side and kind of a custom looking upper receiver. And don't be fooled, this is not billet. This is a forged piece of aluminum. This is constructed of 7075 T6 aluminum and features a type 3 hard coat anodized finish in black. You're going to have Picatinny rail spanning across the top section. No dust cover though. That's typical of most of your 9mm AR style firearms. And it's completely kind of flat on the other side as well. So moving on down to the lower. On PSA's website, they did state that this lower did not have last round bolt hold open, but I'm just going to verify that to check. Not sure why that would change, but so right there, that should verify whether last round bolt hold open is on this. You do have a bolt stop and bolt release, which does function. So you can use the paddle style over here as well as to release it. But on an empty magazine, you're not going to have last round bolt hold open function. The lower receiver is going to be constructed of forged 7075 T6 aluminum. Also features a type 3 hard coat anodized finish in black. You also have an integrated trigger guard right here. that is milled into the receiver. So moving on to the bolt here is going to be the Gen 4 hybrid style bolt from PSA. Essentially, the hybrid name comes from the external 556 extractor or 556 style extractor that they're using rather than internal designed extractor. The bolt is going to be constructed of 8620 tool steel, also includes their enhanced firing pin, and PSA does state that this should work with the majority of aftermarket as well as mil-spec fire control groups from standard AR-15s. This is going to include an A2 style AR-15 grip with the finger groove. Next up is going to be the controls. So here is your magazine release button here. Go ahead and show you how that functions. It does drop free right there. So it is not ambidextrous in design, nor could you add one after the fact. But it is going to be using standard AR-15 mil-spec fire control group as well as fire control group pins, standard AR-15 safety selector, as well as standard takedown and pivot pins. Let's move on back to the buffer tube. So you can see there, PSA does pin all of their end plates into their castle nuts, and they did so on this one in 2 separate places. Could have done a third, but hey, 2 is better than none, and 1 is definitely better than none. The stock here is just going to be your standard A2 style stock with built-in plastic checkering. And the buffer tube they're using here is a 6-position design buffer tube. All right, if you guys have any questions on the Palmetto State Armory PX9, just drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back with you. Thank you all for watching.